Good morning, grade 8. So today we will going to discuss about the music of South Asia and Middle East. We will talk about the different cultures of the chosen countries and know how it is connected to their music. So first, we will going to discuss about India. So we will going first Indian music. Second is the instrumental and vocal music. Third is the folk songs of the Indian music. And lastly, we have the different musical instruments that they use in their music. So our first country is from South Asia, which is the India. So India is one of the countries in Asia that is known around the world for its rich culture. And India is said to be the home of different ancient religion. So as of now, there is more than 10 religion that can be practiced in the country, and the dominant religion as of now is the Hinduism. So it is also the largest country in South Asia and second most populous country in the world, second in China. And also, India became a well-defined subcontinent of Asia because of the Himalayas border of the country. And also, they said to be that the India is the home of different ethnicities. So in India, it is converged with different racial religious acts, and linguistic minorities. So India is also well known for its rich history of ancient civilization, which is the Mohenjo-daro and Harappa in the Indus civilization. And also Indian music reflects the different cultures from north to south and east to west Asia. So now let's move on to the Indian music. So music is fundamental to the lives of the Indians. So it is fundamental because it symbolizes India's remarkable diversity in culture, linguistics, and religious terms, and it embodies the historical tides that have shaped their differences, their culture, their traditions, and etc. So, known for being religious, the country embraces music as one of the ways to worship ancient gods. So, music also serves as a cultural expression and form of entertainment in India. So, next we have the instrumental and vocal music. So the most notable characteristic of Indian vocal music is the melismatic vocal. So what is it? It is a similar to chanting and requires employing several notes to a single syllable or note. So the characteristics is also known in some Asian music, like for example here in the Philippines, an example of melismatic vocals is used during a mahal na araw, which is called passion. So every time na may mahal na araw dito sa Pilipinas is naririnig natin on how they sing with their vocals yung passion na tinatawag. So that is called melismatic kasi parang chinachant nila yung pagkanta dun sa mga words na meron sa passion. And also, there are two main divisions of Indian music. So first we have the Carnatic. So the Carnatic music is from South India, and this is also served as the untainted from Indian music. So it is also an ancient music of India, and it is also known as Karnataka Sangitam, which is one of the styles nga or division of Indian music. So usually ito yung classic na music in India. And the second one is the Hindustani. So this one is from North India, and this kind of music has been influenced by different cultures. So this kind of music is mostly improvisation and exploring of all aspects of music in India. So first, the Carnatic music is also religious and pure. So the composition or the called kriti are about the different Hindu gods. So meron para kay Brahman, Vishnu, Shiva, and different gods and goddesses of India. And also, it is focuses on vocals and lyrics. So although it can be played together with an ensemble, pero usually mas importante para sa kanila is yung vocals and lyrics na pinapertain nung song when it comes to Carnatic music. Second one is the Hindustani music. So the emphasis is more on the instrumental rather than the vocal. So the vocal is characterized by nasal quality. So yung kung kanina mas ina-emphasize nila yung vocal, dito naman sa Hindustani is more on the instrument na ginagamit. Okay? And it is also originated from ancient Hindu musical traditions like the Vedic culture and outside influences, particularly the Mongols and the Persians. And also, rhythm is important in the instrumental music of India. So it is carried through tala, which means clapping. So yung nakikita nyong instrument dyan, that is the tala. So parang yan yung mga cymbals na kinaklap together. So tala means clapping. And aside from clapping, the waving of hands is also utilized in Indian music. So dapat laging may rhythm yung kanilang mga music. And the third one is the folk songs. Okay, since India is a land of diverse cultures, its own folk music is also diverse. So as we know, folk music is a traditional popular culture or that is written in such a style. So it is typically authorship and transmitted orally from generation to generation. So nakabase sa mga tradisyon ng mga tao sa isang lugar, yung pagsusulat nila ng mga folk song. So each region has its own folk songs that represents their local culture. So the Indian folk songs is dance-oriented, infused with a catchy tune. So bakit dapat catchy yung tono na meron dun sa folk songs nila? Kasi hindi lang nila yan kinakanta and also sinasayaw nila para ma-partner nila dun sa dance na part nung song. So, an example of the folk songs in India is called Kajiri. So, it is an Indian folk song that is part of Indian season song. And also, the song is usually sung during the rainy season. So, bakit ba rainy season? Another story attributed to the song that it is a story of the yearning of the maiden for her lover as the rainy season approaches. So, usually this folk song is uh, means longing or the outburst of the woman overwhelmed by desire. Okay. So next, let's move on to the musical instruments of India. So Indian musical instruments are as diverse as its culture. Dahil nga merong iba't ibang ethnicities, merong iba't ibang cultures, they also use different musical instrument to represents their culture. But there are the three main musical instruments in Indian music, namely, we have first the tambura, tabla, and sitar. So tambura, it is a long neck fretless Indian lute, and it conveys the drone effect and provides a tonal foundation of the vocalist. So this instrument does not play melody, but rather supports and sustains the melody of another instrument or singer by providing a continuous harmonic or drone. Next, we have the tabla or tabla. So tabla is a pair of small drums. So they carry the rhythm and are originally used to provide the beat for the courtesans. So the two drums are have different measurements and are assigned for each hand to beat. So this instrument is played solo and as accompaniment with other instruments and vocals and as part of a larger ensemble. And next we have the sitar. So sitar is a pear-shaped string instrument and it carries the melodic parts of the music. So the sitar is also known or also one of the most famous musical instrument from South Asia. So sitar is a black string instrument that is usually used in Hindustani classical music and it represents different times or invented during the medieval India. Next, we have the percussion instruments. So first, we have the dolak. So it is a barrel-shaped drum with skins on both ends. It is popular not just in India but in some countries in Asia as well. So the dolak is the most commonly played musical instrument in northern India and it is also used as an accompaniment to song or other instruments. So next we have the damru. It is an hourglass shaped drum. This drum is often seen in ancient Indian state statues. So this instrument is one of the oldest instrument in Indian music. So this instrument is known to be the instrument of their god or deity called Shiva. Kaya nakikita daw siya dun sa mga statues ni Shiva or the different Hindu gods. But usually, it is used by God Shiva. So the third one, we have the Gatam. So it is an ancient musical instrument that conveys the meaning of the term pat in Sanskrit. So usually Gatham has a large narrow-mouthed and the water pot used as a percussion instrument in India. So unlike the other Indian percussion, the gatam does not have membrane over its mouth. So wala siyang takip. So usually nilalagyan lang siya ng tubig for it to make different sound. Next we have first the gongrus. So these are the small brass bells. So they are used as musical accessories by Indian dancers. So yung mga gongrus na yan is sinusuot sa paa. Para while dancing is um, tumutunog siya. So this is comprises of several small metallic balls that are strung together and tied around the feet of dancers in order to accentuate and complement the rhythmic aspect of dance. So usually ginagamit siya sa mga folk music and para mabigyan ng iba't ibang layer ng rhythm yung isang kanta. Also, we have the kanjira. So it looks like a tambourine, so as you can see, and it is always played with ridangam, and it is also considered as an ancient musical Indian instrument. So kanjira is an instrument that is primarily used in Carnatic music. And also we have the ridangam. So it accompanies vocal and dance performance in India. So ridangam is also a popular instrument in India. Next we have the manjira. So it is a set of small cymbals that can be seen on the walls of ancient temples. So Manjira is also known as Tala, as I've said earlier, and has a significant importance in Indian folk music. So basically, it is played in for the Indian gods and goddesses for devotional music. Kaya lagi siyang nakikita sa mga walls ng ancient temples dahil it usually used to serve or worship their gods and goddesses. Next, we have the call. So it is a terracotta two-sided drum. So the smaller drum head produces a high and piercing sound. So this instrument is also used for devotional music for their gods and goddesses. So this drum is played with palms and fingers of both hands. Next, we have the pakhawaj. So it is a barrel-shaped two-headed drum. So this instrument has a low, mellow tone that is quite rich in harmonics. So usually, the sides of these instruments are made with animal skin. So usually, yung skin ng goat or ng kambing. So lastly, for the percussion instrument is called the kartals. So these are made of wooden blocks with holes for the fingers. They are also made up of circular copper plates that ensemble the instrument to produce a unique sound. So the kartals are played in pairs, an instrument in each hands. So usually this kind of instrument in use mainly in devotional music for gods and goddesses and also for folk music. So next we have the wind instruments. So first we have the bansuri. So it is a folk instrument representing the playfulness of the Hindu god Krishna. So a bansuri is a side-blown flute originating from the Indian subcontinent. So it is an aerophone produced from bamboo and it is usually used in the Hindustani classical music of India. Next we have the harmonium. So it is a small size organ that belongs to the family of a free reed aerophones. So this instrument is originated in the period of British rule in India. So, na parang namana nila yan, nakuha nila sa mga British during their colonization by the British. So, it is modified version of the reed organ with keys like the piano and has a pump air into the instrument. Next, we have the shehani. So, it is an instrument borrowed from the Muslims, and it is a prominent instrument in North India. So, sorry, wrong pronunciation. It's shenai, hindi pala shehani. So, shenai is a musical instrument that is originated from India, and it is made out of wood with a double reed at one end and a metal or wooden flared bell at the other hand. So next set of instruments is the string instruments. So first we have the sarangi. So it has a 40 strings with a hollow body, and it is made of thick wood decorated with ivory. So it is a short neck string instrument, and it is also used for folk music in India. So it is said to be the most resemble to the sound of the human voice, and it is also able to imitate vocal ornaments. Next we have the sarod. So it is used in Hindustani music, and it is similar to the Western lute. So it is also played along with the sitar, and it is also uh, among the most popular and prominent instrument in India. Next, we have the tanpura. So it is considered as a fundamental music instrument in Indian music because it carries the drone effect. So the difference of tanpura to sarod, the tanpura is a long neck plucked string instrument from India, and it is found in a various forms of music in India. It does not play melody but rather supports and sustain the melody of another instrument or singer by providing a continuous harmonic or drone. So when we say drone effect, so it is a harmony or the effect or the accompaniment where a note or a chord is continuously sounded throughout most or all of the piece. So lagi siyang nandun, laging nakaalalay every time na dapat hindi siya nawawala within the music. And lastly, we have the vina. So it is used in Carnatic music, and it is a classical plucked string instrument of India. So veena is also among the oldest of the Indian music instruments. So from the references in the Vedic writings. So that's it for today, grade 8. Thank you so much for listening to our lesson. So answer the following um, drill in the genyo that I prepared. So next week we will going to discuss naman about the music of Israel. Thank you and have a nice day. Bye. See you all again next week.